In this presentation, you will learn about Max Weber. Max Weber was not just a sociologist, but his interest varied across economics, music, law, philosophy, and history. Weber, like the sociologists of his time, was interested in understanding the nature and causes of social change. Much of his work was also concerned with the development of modern capitalism and the ways in which modern society was different from earlier forms of social organization. Through a series of empirical studies, Weber set forth some of the basic characteristics of modern industrial societies and identified key sociological debates that remain central for sociologists today. In Weber's view, economic factors are important, but ideas and values have just as much impact on social change. Max Weber was born in Erfurt, Germany in 1864 into a middle-class family. The deep differences in the worldview of his parents had a profound effect on his intellectual and psychological upbringing. His father was a bureaucrat with an important political position. He was in sharp contrast to his wife, who was a devout Calvinist who lived an ascetic life devoid of the worldly pleasures craved by her husband. At age 18, Max Weber left home for a short time to attend the University of Heidelberg. Weber studied law, history, philosophy, and economics for 3 semesters at Heidelberg University before spending a year in the military. When he resumed his studies in 1884, he went to the University of Berlin and spent 1 semester at Göttingen. He earned his PhD in 1889 and became a lawyer and started teaching at the University of Berlin. There was a tension in Weber's life, and more important, in his work, between the bureaucratic mind as represented by his father and his mother's religiosity. This unresolved tension permeates Weber's work as it permeated his personal life. Weber was exposed to the methodological traditions of Kant, Hegel, Comte, Saint-Simon, Durkheim, and Marx before his contribution to sociology. The idealist and rational method developed by Kant and Hegel promoted the difference between the statement of value, which explains what it should be, and the statement of fact, which indicates what it is. Application of human mind serves the dichotomy between the two. The positivist method used by Comte advocated that knowledge about the reality can be understood through the empirical or the positivist method. Positivism holds that science should be concerned only with observable entities that are known directly to experience. On the basis of careful observations, one can infer laws that explain the relationship between the observed phenomena. Positivism extends the methodology of natural science to the field of sociology. Weber was convinced with neither the rational or the empirical approach to study the reality, but believed that behind every reality there exist causalities of values, forms of actions, and sources of motivations. Weber focused on substantive work, stating that only by laying bare and solving substantial problems can science be established and their methods developed. On the other hand, purely epistemological and methodological reflections have never played the crucial role in such developments. Weber's thinking on sociology was shaped on the debates in Germany between the positivists, who thought that history was composed of general laws, and the subjectivists, who reduced history to idiosyncratic actions. The positivists thought that history could be like a natural science. The subjectivists saw the two as radically different. Weber established the relationship between history and sociology. He explained the difference between the two, stating that sociology seeks to formulate type concepts and generalized uniformities of empirical processes, whereas history is oriented to the causal explanation of individuals' action, structures, and personalities possessing cultural significance. In Weber's view, history is composed of unique empirical events. There can be no generalizations at the empirical level. Sociologists must therefore separate the empirical world from the conceptual universe that they construct. The concepts never completely capture the empirical world, but they can be used as heuristic tools for gaining a better understanding of reality. With these concepts, sociologists can develop generalizations, but these generalizations are not history and must not be confused with empirical. Weber, in his study, combined the two. His sociology was oriented to the development of clear concepts so that he could perform a causal analysis of historical phenomenon. Weber believed that history is composed of an unlimited collection of specific phenomena. To study these phenomena, it was necessary to develop a variety of concepts designed to be useful for research in the real world. As a general rule, although Weber did not adhere to it strictly, and neither do most sociologists and historians, the task of sociology was to develop these concepts, which history was to use in causal analysis of specific historical phenomena. In this way, Weber sought to combine the specific and the general in an effort to develop a science that did justice to the complex nature of social life. With philosophers William Dilthey and Heinrich Rickert, Weber believed that it was difficult to apply natural science methods to accurately predict behavior. The influence of culture on human behavior was important, as human behavior cannot be understood without understanding the meaning individuals attribute to their behavior. Weber was among the first sociologists to conceptualize sociology as a descriptive and interpretive discipline. Weber defined sociology as the science concerning itself with the interpretative understanding of and thereby with a causal explanation of its course and consequences. Thus, sociology for Weber should be a science. Sociology should be concerned with causality, thereby combining sociology and history, and sociology should utilize interpretative understanding or what is called Verstehen. Weber's work ranged over many areas: music, religion, love, law, economy, politics. He looked at a wide range of civilizations. He also engaged with politics, and his wife Marianne was a leading feminist of her time. He struggled with the balance between his personal political commitments and his view of sociology as being scientifically neutral or value-free. With a broad understanding of law, economics, religion, and history, Max Weber produced what many regard as the greatest individual contribution to sociology. He generated ideas that were very wide-ranging. Much of his work was also concerned with the development of modern capitalism and the ways in which modern society was different from earlier forms of social organization. Through a series of empirical studies, Weber set forth some of the basic characteristics of modern industrial societies and identified key sociological debates that remain central for sociologists today. For Weber, the basic structure is social action, and the role of sociologists is to understand the meanings associated with action rather than mechanically studying action and its consequences using the methods of natural science. He introduced the concept of Verstehen. The concept of ideal types can help sociologists to make comparisons on the basis of which generalizations can be made. I hope you now know a little more about Max Weber. Thank you for watching the presentation. Do like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments about this presentation or any other topics you would like to learn more about.